Welcome to another episode of the Generational Yap podcast with your hosts, Harmony and Sage. Before we start, just know this show is opinion based using publicly available information. If we mention allegations, they are alleged. We're talking culture, nostalgia, and sharing our hot takes. Let's yap, y'all.
Hello, Harmony.
Hey, hey, girl, hey.
So happy holidays. I know we're recording this on Christmas Eve,
Yes,
and we both have small Christmases planned.
yes, the best way to do it. I'm so excited.
So, to all of our listeners, happy holidays.
Happy holidays.
Do you remember in the 90s and maybe even in the 2000s, those gift baskets you would get for Christmas? And they'd have like soap and bubble bath and maybe a loofah, and they were like saran wrap stuff on top.
I remember seeing them, yes.
Did you not ever get any?
Honestly, I'm drawing a blank on that.
Okay, because it is what you would get somebody who you didn't know what to get anything
Oh,
for.
okay.
I got a lot of them, so apparently I'm hard to shop for. I can't believe that you
I
didn't
don't
ever get
no,
any of
I
these. It's
don't
sort of
think
like a
I
Bath and Body Works kind of thing.
okay, now I have gotten, the Bath and Body Works kinda little wrapped up where it has the cologne and the travel size stuff, so I have gotten that.
Oh, that's a little fancier than what I'm talking about. I mean, this is sort of like cliche 90s, what I'm referring to.
I'm
Like
gonna have
we
to look this
all,
up.
yeah, you're very fortunate if you haven't ever got one. People
Yeah,
personalized your gifts more, but you'll have to go online and look at what I'm talking about.
absolutely.
So I got some news I wanted to talk to you about.
Yes, ma'am.
So coincidentally, I have been binge watching My Dream Lottery Home. Have you seen
Okay.
that?
I do not think that I have.
Well, I'm in real estate, so
Mhm.
these home shows, I usually watch them just to make fun of them, to be honest with you.
Fair
But
enough.
I like the host on this one. He is boldly homosexual
Okay.
to the point where he wears like a pink fluffy jacket
Mhm.
that is just incredible. So he's in the news for mid-season checking himself into a recovery center.
Oh, goodness.
Yeah, so it's for substance abuse. Apparently, this has
Mhm.
been a struggle for him for a long time. He said
Yeah.
he has a lot of unhealed mental anguish from being bullied as a kid for being gay. Now, this man is
Mhm.
in his 50s, so I'm sure it was extremely hard for him growing up with all that.
Absolutely.
So I just wanted to put his name is David Bromstad. I wanted to put him in the hugs corner.
Yes.
Super proud of him for admitting he has a problem and getting help.
Absolutely. Hugs corner for him. And honestly, I think that's amazing to recognize that you have a problem and wanting to take the time to try to fix that issue.
Oh
And a
yeah.
lot of times people don't realize when people have substance abuse issues, it's from something much larger and that they need therapy and it's from some type of trauma. So give them grace to work through that.
Yeah, you got to fix the roots of the problem to fully heal.
Absolutely.
So props to him. I
Yes.
also wanted to talk about Corey Feldman. Not
Yes.
necessarily a topic I'd like talking about because I think he's a little bit whack. Just my opinion. But
Mhm.
that also is probably due to trauma that has been unhealed.
Absolutely.
So he made a long time ago or a couple years ago a documentary. And to be honest with you, I can't remember what it was about, but it was about something I think about what's going on in Hollywood as far as pedophilia.
Hmm.
And now he has made another documentary. And in this documentary, it has come out, well, he alleges Corey Haim, the other Corey,
Hmm.
sexually abused him. That was during the taping of Lost Boys. So, of course, Corey Haim
Oh.
is gone. He's
Yeah,
dead.
he's deceased.
So his mother has come out swinging on that one. This will be interesting to see where it lands. I bet there will be a lawsuit.
I could see that. Now, and I will say, I do believe that both Corys were touched in Hollywood because there were always, allegedly Charlie Sheen was a part of inappropriately doing things to them. So I
Yeah.
can't imagine the things that those young men saw and had to live through. And that's traumatic.
Yeah. It's sad too. He has made allegations against Michael Jackson.
Mhm.
I don't know. It's a big old mess. And
Yeah.
I probably will not be watching the documentary, but I will be keeping up with the news on it.
A lot of those kids in Hollywood just are not protected. Their parents or their guardians just send them off to be alone with these people and they have no clue who they are. Watch your children, protect your children.
Hollywood's not going to do it for you.
Exactly. They do not care. They're here to make as much money as they can off of your child and also take your child to a point mentally that's so dark that they can't even fight back. I think that's their goal is to isolate so that nobody believes the child when they tell you this, but always believe the child.
Oh, definitely. Always believe the child. Well,
Yeah.
that brings me to my next topic. So thank you for that.
Yeah.
There is this 13-year-old girl in Louisiana. I don't know her name, of course, because she is 13. So, some boys in her school created nude AI images of her.
Jesus Christ.
I know we have gotten to that point in society. So, this spread all over school, and you know how high school is. Can
Hmm.
you imagine living in today's world in high school?
I
No.
could not. I'm so thankful that I don't.
So, the girl went to the sheriff. Well, first of all, she went to the school counselor asking for
Okay.
help. Nothing. Went to the sheriff asking for help. Nothing. And, a lot of these images were sent on Snapchat, so they disappear after a while. Yeah. So that did not help. So we've got all these adults who don't understand AI imaging. They don't understand Snapchat. It gets a little complicated.
Um,
So she gets on the bus one day after all this is like in the throes of it right now. She gets on the bus and they're all sharing these pictures. They're like getting their phones out, showing these pictures and laughing and joking. And she starts wailing on the two boys who started all this.
Good for
And
her.
then she turns around to some of her friends and said, "Am I going to be doing this by myself?" So the other two girls jump in. Good for them. Okay.
Period. And should.
Well, yeah, but guess what happens?
She and her friends got in trouble.
Yes. Well, I don't know exactly what happened to her friends, but I know she got sent to an alternative school, which we know what that means. And
Mhm.
then while at the alternative school, and they're trying to figure out what am I going to do with this 13-year-old victim, and I am going to say the word
Mhm.
victim,
Because she
they,
is.
she is, they expelled her.
Are you kidding me? But the boys who did all this to her in the first place get away scot-free.
Well, for a while they did. It took
Okay.
weeks. Okay. So then the sheriff's office jumps in and they charge the perpetrators. But in
Okay.
the meantime, this girl is allowed back into school with probation. I don't even understand this. So she can't do any extracurricular activities. So we
Wow.
are shaming and punishing this victim. So
Mhm.
that 13-year-old girl needs to go into the hugs corner. I'm so sorry that she has to go through this.
Absolutely. She was failed at every level.
Yeah.
And even with her being back in that school, you know those kids are cruel. They are
Mhm.
still sharing those images of her. That
Yes.
completely changed her life forever and is going to follow her around. And then you're punishing her because she tried to do the right steps. Y'all you moved too slow and she had to put the pause on them.
So the father says she's extremely depressed right now, like getting therapy and everything. I imagine there will be a lawsuit over that, and there should be.
And there should be, absolutely.
But that doesn't change the fact that this is going to be an ongoing problem with our youth.
Absolutely.
And
Oh,
do you ever get to the point where you think maybe these kids shouldn't have phones, or maybe they should have like the basic phones with no internet?
I think these kids absolutely should have the basic phone with no internet. Like,
Mm,
you can have a phone because if something happens to you, I want you to be able to get hold of me. But I
yeah.
just think about when we were in school, if I was bullied at school, when I went home, I didn't have to hear about it. I got a break. These kids today don't have that because they have the internet. And then you have multiple fake pages telling you that you're ugly, that you're fat, that you're stupid across your Instagram, your Facebook, your Snapchat, whatever that you're using. It never stops.
You're right. It doesn't end for them. And we really need to get ahead of this. And I feel like legally we are behind the curve on all this technological changes. We've got to do better for the kids.
Absolutely, because they're using these images, and I don't think they truly realize the damage that they're doing to other people. To them, it's just, oh, it's a cute little joke. It's not. It's so much bigger than that.
Exactly. And those pictures, like you said, will never go away.
Hmm.
So
Even if you hit delete, they are still somewhere.
they are. Yep, guarantee you. So this happened yesterday. This is the
Okay.
craziest story I'm about to tell you. I thought the U-Haul story last time was crazy, but this
That
might
was a
beat it.
lot.
This is also in Ohio. Sometimes I want to ask Ohio, are you okay? I mean, I live here and I would like for one time for Ohio to be known for something amazing instead of all this craziness.
That's fair.
So, yeah, send help, people. We're not good. So, this is actually in Cleveland, and
Okay.
it's in a part of Cleveland called Newburgh Heights. So, it's downtown Cleveland.
Okay.
So, yesterday, these boys, 8, 11, and 12, walked to the store and they saw this car. And one boy said he just had this urge to steal this car. Yeah, these are little kids, by the way. So
My
they
lord.
had learned through an online video of how to steal a car. Oh my gosh. You know, so they steal it. And they drive
Jesus.
it down the highway. I'm talking about it was a highway going 80 miles per hour. Cops chasing them at this point. And the kids said they didn't know how to stop it, which I mean, probably not, you know.
Yeah.
And oh, and by the way, they learned how to drive with a video online too. So, yeah, they end up crashing into this house. See, another crash into a house in Ohio. I mean, this just gets
Oh my
crazy.
goodness.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So then, of course, they run on foot and these little kids are found by the cops. And there is footage of this. And this gets a little heartbreaking because,
Mhm.
as stupid as these kids were, and they most definitely were stupid,
Yeah.
seeing these kids being ordered on their bellies, these kids are like, "Can I talk to my mom? I'm sorry, it's the first time. And I know this is the first time I've ever driven." And the cop's like, oh, I wanted to tell you what the cop said about that. Okay. The cop said, well, I could tell by the way you were driving. You suck at driving.
Jesus.
And this one cop said, "You're 12-year-olds stealing cars. What the hell's wrong with you?" I second that, by the
Honestly.
way. Yeah.
Yeah.
So they were taken into jail. They were booked and all that.
Mm.
They were in there complaining that they're not going to get anything for Christmas because of all this. So there's this conflict of them doing criminal activity,
Mhm.
yet being kids. And it's a very heartbreaking thing to see. So
Yeah.
they were released to their parents.
Okay.
And I'm hoping these parents gave away all their presents and made them watch as those other kids opened them. And I guarantee those kids will be disciplined.
I if I were their parent, they wouldn't be getting a Christmas, wouldn't be getting a birthday. They'd
No.
be volunteering at the local soup kitchens because what are you doing? I didn't raise you to act this way. And that could have ended much worse. You could have
Mhm,
gotten cops who just wanted to shoot you and you'd be dead instead. So take this
mhm.
as a life learning lesson and get your ish together.
They could have ran over somebody.
That too.
They could have hurt themselves while driving like a
Hmm.
maniac. I mean, Cleveland's a big town, and they were hightailing it down the highway.
Absolutely.
Unbelievable. I
They're,
t
they're kids. And we talked about that frontal lobe thing. The
Yeah,
frontal lobe is not developed. They just don't think about any of the consequences. They're like, oh, I saw this on a video game or YouTube and this looks fun.
yeah,
Not realizing all of the danger that they put themselves in, that they
yeah.
put all the people on the road in, just reckless for no reason.
Yeah, and he said, "I just had this physical desire to go steal that car." That's called impulse issues. We need to
Mhm.
address that. But when you're that young and stupid, and all young people are stupid, in my opinion, okay,
Absolutely.
you should not be given this education on how to steal a car and how to drive a car. You should not even have access to that. So I
No.
know I sound really old when I say this, but I don't think our kids need the internet at a young age.
No, or at least have like the parental restrictions on there so you're not watching all this. But even that, probably
Mm,
doesn't help because you know that people online who are criminals figure out how to get that stuff into the kid videos anyway. So it's
yeah.
like your child's really not safe either way you look at it.
Actually, I think the answer may be just a community computer in the living room.
Yes.
Right.
Listen, that's what I had growing up. Our computer was downstairs. My parents could come by and visibly see what me and my brother were doing.
Uh-huh.
I didn't have a computer in my room at that age. I think I didn't have a computer in my room until maybe towards the end of high school.
And that's about appropriate. I think we need to bring
Yeah.
back that community computers, get rid of the phones with the internet. Let's go back to basic living.
Yes, and I was 16 with a track phone.
Mhm.
So it did what I needed it to do. The only game I could play was the little snake game on there. I couldn't get online. I had to buy my minute so I could call people and that worked perfectly fine. And then when I got my own job and made my own money, I upgraded my phone.
Right. Right. But you were responsible at that point. And if your parents thought you weren't, I'm sure they would have done something about that.
Oh, absolutely.
Well, on a happier note, this is in Maryland and this is on TikTok. So her name is on TikTok, it's Brianna Thezard. I hope I said that right. So it's
Okay.
Brianathezard. So she's with the Memories Foundation, and it's a group of people who go to the homes of fostered kids. And they go to like birthdays and graduations and etc. And they bring
Mhm.
these balloons and these gifts and they sing to them like these
Oh,
happy birthday songs and stuff. So you actually get to see this happening on her TikTok, and you all have just got to see it. It is a wonderful thing to see. Everything's very personalized that they do.
I love that. Okay, I definitely need to go follow because I just love clips where it shows that humanity is not totally in the dumps and that there are people out here doing goodness, doing the work of the Lord and, giving
Yes.
kindness to others.
Oh, it's so wonderful to see. And there's a big group. There's a big group of them doing it. And it's just, these kids love this.
That is awesome. Okay,
Yeah.
I definitely need to see the videos.
Yes. So, did you have anything else to say before we jump into our movie review?
Yeah, so this week I wanted to shout out TLC because I've been listening. Yes, I've
Yes.
been listening to the LaFace Christmas Family album. It's that time of year where I'm
Okay.
watching the Christmas movies, the Christmas music. So I've been listening to TLC's Sleigh Ride. It's been on repeat. So love those girls.
Okay.
And I just love when they initially came out, they had like the condoms over their eyes. So they're talking about safe sex, which is huge because a
Yes.
lot of artists did not do that.
Yeah. That was considered, yeah, that was considered really risque back then. So risque.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I just love those girls and
Oh.
Lisa Left Eye Lopez, rest in peace. She
Mhm.
was this amazing talent. And one of the things that's burned in my memory is so I used to watch Behind the Music, and I will never forget their Behind the Music when Lisa is like, "Oh, you wanna see how we went bankrupt?" And she breaks it down, and it's like, that is wild.
I
Yeah.
remember that. I'm glad you brought that up. That was something that has bothered me because back then we just assumed, oh, you're on the radio, you're making tons of money. We didn't know how the sausage was made, basically, and that
Mhm.
people were taking advantage. And I dare say they took advantage of them more so being black and being women. So they
Absolutely.
had really no hope, but they had talent.
Talented, talented women. Would call them one of the greatest girl groups of all time.
I agree
Yeah.
completely. And yes, they are still on my playlist.
I will tell you this because I told you I love the silent discos.
Mhm.
No matter what silent disco I go to, they are always going to play TLC's No Scrubs. I hear it every single time.
There's that meme, I'm sure you've seen it, or saying, we were all out there singing No Scrubs, and we've all ended up with, like, loser men.
Yes, I've seen that.
Bring back the No Scrubs mantra, okay?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, so speaking of the song Sleigh Ride, which I think is a great Christmas song, by the way,
Yes.
this was a very long time ago in the 80s. Debbie Gibson, I was such a fan. I'm talking
Okay.
about a major fan. I still follow her on Instagram. She sings a rendition of Sleigh Ride that is amazing.
Ooh, is
Yeah.
it kind of like a ballad style?
No, the opposite.
Ooh, okay. I'm
Very
gonna
up
listen.
very uplifting.
Good.
It's one of those you listen to while you're making Christmas cookies.
Oh, heck yeah. Okay. I will be checking
Yeah.
that out. You said Debbie
Yeah.
Gibson.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Such a fan. Okay. So I'm actually, other than that, I'm not really big on Christmas music. You know?
There's a couple. Their B2K had a Christmas album
Hmm.
that I really love, and of course, Merry Christmas, Happy
Yeah.
Holidays by NSYNC. I'll
Okay.
always love that.
Well, we got to talk about Mariah Carey. I'm not a
Oh,
hater. I'll
period.
play that song year round now.
Listen, I Mariah is always getting played in this house.
That's right. Exactly.
Yes.
There was a lawsuit against her. Uh,
No.
oh yeah, they were suing her for 92,000. The judge just dropped it just a couple days ago, claiming that song "All I Want for Christmas Is You" was a
Mhm.
ripoff of "All I Want from Christmas," and I don't know, some song we've never heard of.
Yeah.
So the judge declared it a frivolous lawsuit. So
Okay,
she
good.
won. Yeah, we got to protect Mariah at all cost.
Because at this point, that song has been out for how many years, decades now?
I have no idea. I know that's how she makes her money, though. Good for her.
Listen, if I could be set up like that, oh my gosh, I could only imagine. Uh,
Yeah. So I chose the movie. Had you
Yes.
watched it?
So I had seen it. It wasn't like Romy and Michelle where I was like, "Oh, I've seen it," and then I
Hmm.
hadn't. But I didn't it's been such a long time that I didn't really remember it like that. It might as well been the first time I watched it.
Well, kind of the same for me. It's from 1990.
Mhm.
So that was a long time ago, even though it seems to me like it was yesterday, but it really was a long time ago. But
35
this,
years ago.
oh, well, thank you. You didn't have to say that. Jeez, that was painful. That was my prime. And you're telling me it's 35 years ago?
Yes.
Well, anyway,
Surprise.
yeah, that movie was talked about everywhere. I mean, the references still today,
Mhm.
if you know somebody my age, we're still referring to it. Okay. Pretty Woman.
Yes.
Yeah. So it was considered like risque,
Mhm.
um, because I mean, she's a prostitute,
Yeah.
and that was a different time in our lives where we didn't talk about such things.
Mm-mm. And then the fact that because Disney is attached to this movie, so I
Hmm.
feel like
Hmm.
I heard that it was supposed to be kind of more erotic than it is, but because Disney got involved, they, tamed it back some.
Well, I've got some information about the sports car.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah. Yeah. And so that it's related to what you just said. So it's a 1989 Lotus Esprit SE. So
Okay.
that's obviously a British sports car. So they initially wanted to get a Ferrari or a Porsche, but
Okay.
neither of those would give them a car to use because of
Oh,
this movie having something to do with prostitution.
okay.
So I just thought that was interesting. It was considered that risque back then that Ferrari and Porsche would not touch it.
Wow.
Um, anyway, after the movie, like I said, it's 1990, after it came out, Lotus sales tripled.
I bet you Ferrari and Porsche were like, damn, we should
I
have
know.
got in on this.
Well, in 2025, the
Mhm.
Lotus sells for 575,000.
Side
I
note,
know.
could you ever spend that much money on a car?
Oh, no, I've already thought about this because I'm always thinking,
Okay.
like, if I win the lottery, what am I going to do?
Mm.
And my idea is to keep on driving my Honda Civic because I can
Yes.
park it and not worry about somebody bumping into it or something.
Yes.
So, So if you see me rich still driving my Honda, don't judge.
I
Yeah,
will not judge. Listen, I owe a couple more car payments on my car, and I will drive that sucker until it blows up on me. I don't need like
absolutely.
the newest, fanciest thing. I need to get from point A to point B.
Yep, same. Exactly. So, yeah, I will not be doing that, but that is a cool car. I looked at the 2025s online and they look like a new Corvette.
Ooh, okay.
So, and of course, her famous line is, "You left your transmission back there."
I love that when she got in that car, she was schooling him about
Yeah.
the vehicle and she wasn't afraid. She had the confidence. She knew what she was talking about. And I love that.
Yes. Now, can you drive a stick?
Oh, heck no.
Okay. I can, but it's been years. Like, I would not want to practice on one of my vehicles because, I'd probably just burn up the clutch.
Oh, yeah. It would
So,
be a
yeah.
terrible experience.
Yeah. Oh, and I found out something else about clutches. Well, first of all, only 18% of US drivers can drive a stick. No surprise there, right? And I guarantee you those 18% are Gen X and above.
Oh, absolutely. That sounds about right.
Only 1 to 5% of new cars in the United States are manual.
Oh,
Yeah, and I guarantee those are sports cars too.
absolutely.
Yeah, yeah. So, yeah, he was in there grinding gears. I was like, cringing. So, what did you think about her street walking fashion?
Oh my God. Listen, Julia Roberts in that movie, beautiful. She just had this
Okay.
natural beauty about her. I loved when she actually let her red hair come out. The curly red hair was beautiful. And then when she's walking in the street and everybody's looking at her, I would have been looking at her too, honestly, because the girl looked like a bombshell. She looked
Oh,
so
yeah.
good.
Oh, yeah.
And I love when she's walking up to the car and Kit is like hyping her up. That was awesome too. She's like,
That's
"Go
true.
get your man, girl."
I did not like the blonde wig, but her red hair is very pretty.
Yes, the wig was trash. It was very much synthetic.
Okay. Yeah. Um, she's 5'8".
What?
Yeah, she's a tall one. And of course, you're almost 5'8" too, if I'm
Yeah,
correct.
I thought she was taller than that
Well,
for
I
some
did
reason.
too. I
I'm
think
five
that's
seven and a half, so I thought she was maybe like 6 foot or something.
well, that's what I thought too, but I think that is the boots. 'Cause she wore a lot of boots in there, and I'm sure they had a heel.
That makes sense.
Yeah,
Okay.
and I just love the fact that she was raised with boys, so it kinda
Mhm.
conflicted with the girly girl image she was trying to portray, and of course, he says, "My first car was a limousine," and I was like, "Yeah, of course it was."
Of course it was. Do you know what? Actually, when they're first meeting and they're in that car, I thought that he was naive and hadn't picked up that, she was a sex worker until he said, "So, how much do women like you, what's the going rate for women like you now?"
Oh, I know. I know, and of course, she said $100 per hour, okay?
Mhm.
And then she charged him, for the whole evening, $300 a night, okay?
Mhm.
So, I did some math here. When she charged him $300 per night, I'm assuming we're talking about 8 hours. That is 37.50 per hour. Of course, that was back then, okay? So, for her 6 days, she made $3,000. That's $20.83 per hour. Now, we're not taking in consideration those clothes.
Right.
I just can't even imagine that.
Mhm.
But she made a total without the clothing, $3,400 for the 7 days. So, with inflation today, that would be $8,423.
Wow.
Yeah. Can you imagine making $8,423 for sitting in a big bathtub and then going shopping and all that?
I could not imagine that at all. But I wrote this down too. When they were kind of negotiating and she came back with the price of $300, I was
Mhm.
like, girl, you don't think this man can go for more than $300 now?
Exactly. No, I
Aim
couldn't.
higher, baby.
Well, I was thinking that. I was thinking that very strongly. But then I was thinking, okay, this girl is just thinking about survival. She knows
Yeah,
that she doesn't have any rent money and needs to have some rent money. But unfortunately, that's what thinking in survival will do. It will shortchange you every single time.
that's true.
Yeah. But I'm going to tell you, when you're hungry and you need a roof over your head, you'll just do about anything.
Because I mean, if you can't survive, you can't do anything. So,
Yes. So I liked her saying, I never joke about money, which I thought me and you could probably relate to that.
yes,
Yeah,
we are for real about our money. I don't work for free.
that's exactly right. And then she says, "Do you plan everything?" And he says, "Always." And I love that.
I am not a planner like that.
Are you
I need
not?
a no, I need a good mix. Like if I'm on vacation, I don't like going on vacation with people who plan everything down to the minute. That'll drive me
Okay.
insane.
Now I agree with you on that. I've gotten over that. Now that my kids are grown, I don't have to do that anymore. But
Okay.
when my kids were little, we did plan everything. But I live by my calendars.
Now,
I,
I do live by my calendar. If it's not on the calendar, I'm not showing up.
oh, exactly.
Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah. So I know I do, I plan everything down to the last minute. Um, so I have something funny to tell you. When she sits on the sofa in
Mhm.
the elevator
Mhm.
and she's like, "Oh, there's a sofa in here for two."
Yes.
Okay. So this is something really stupid. So a long time ago, when my kids were very little, we had to go to
Mhm.
speech therapy every week
Okay.
for years. It was a very big deal.
Okay.
And of course, my kids would go to the bathroom with me because they were young. And the speech therapy had this really fancy bathroom with like a couch and a chair and a sitting room, which I'm sure was for like breastfeeding moms. So my sons to this day think that every woman's bathroom has a couch and a chair. And my daughter and I have played this thing up. Like, we'll leave a bathroom and be like, "Ugh, that chair sure wasn't leather. I could tell you that much." So my
I love
kids,
that.
my boys are 13 and 20, and they
Mhm.
still to this day think every woman's bathroom is like posh.
Now, so your 20-year-old has a girlfriend, correct?
Yes, I took her aside.
Okay.
I took her aside about 6 months in, and I was like, "No, we need you to help me with this. Okay."
I love that. So he's never
Yes.
allowed to listen to this episode then, because then we gave it
No,
away.
no, they think this is crazy anyway.
Okay, good.
No, but this one will be more confidential. Yes.
Good. Good, good.
I can't remember. I had this down, tip culture. I don't know why I have it.
I mean, tip culture today still sucks though too,
Oh my
because
gosh. Yes.
you get online all the time and people are talking about not tipping people and they're proud to not tip people, and that's crazy to me. You went out
Yeah.
and you paid for service. You went out
Mhm.
and you paid for somebody to wait on you. Figure
Yes.
out the tip before you go there.
Oh, oh, if I can't pay a really, really good tip, I don't go. I
Exactly. Like
do
that's
not.
literally all you have to do is, all right, well, I need to at least minimum leave 20%. What meal
Yes.
can I get that will still allow me to leave that 20%? You need to figure that
Yeah.
out.
And if I can't leave a 20% tip, then I'm going through the drive-through and just giving them a couple dollars.
There you
But I'm
go.
not going to sit at their table and expect them to wait on me for free.
Absolutely. I've been a hostess before, and I could just
Mhm.
remember the times where people would also come in to a restaurant and they would get maybe like a waffle and a coffee, but then they'd sit there for the entire brunch shifts and then not leave any tip. So it's like you didn't leave tip and you also stopped this worker from making additional monies because you sat
Yes.
there for 5 hours.
Okay, so I was a server. I did many things to get through college because I was extremely poor. Waiting
Mhm.
tables was probably the worst thing I've ever done. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
And waiting tables at Cracker Barrel was
Mm.
bottom. It was horrible.
Oh,
So people would come in there and just park. And the only time in my life that I've ever gotten written up for anything with my work is one day I kind of was snarky to somebody about parking at a table because I
okay.
literally didn't have any money coming in. That was like, it was like a big old table. So it was like my
Mhm.
only table. And I was just there hanging out because they were hanging out, wasting my
Jeez.
time. So
And
I shouldn't have
it's
been snarky. However,
right.
yeah. And I do tip my hairdresser because she's wonderful.
Oh, I tip anytime that I'm getting a service done that I don't wanna do myself, I'm giving you a tip. So that's my
Yes.
hairdresser. When I get a tattoo, that's the
Hmm.
artist, that's servers. If you make my coffee, I'm giving you a tip too. Like,
Yes.
that's just what it is.
But they shouldn't have to rely on tips. I
That
feel like
part.
they should be paid.
Absolutely, because still making $2.35 an hour
Mhm.
in this economy, that's crazy.
It is crazy. I actually
Mhm.
feel like it is, financial abuse.
Oh,
Um,
yes.
I don't understand it, and I would rather them raise the price of everything on the menu and us not tip.
Yeah, I would be fine with that too. Because just pay people a livable wage. That would
Yeah.
make the tip conversation go away. Pay them a livable wage.
It's funny, whenever I got out of college, I was making 35,000 a year, and I was doing well. That was, like, the
Mhm.
highest in my graduating class, okay?
Yeah.
35,000 a year is hard now.
$35,000 a year because you also have to think about the taxes that come out of that. So you're really not
Yeah,
making 35,000 a year. You're probably making what? 25,000 a year?
probably. Yeah, and
Dang.
I was so proud to be in management and all this other stuff, but then you
Mhm.
realize they're gonna work you to death and you're on salary. There's
Mhm.
times when being hourly really pays off.
Absolutely, because I've been salary for it's been a while now. And on a day where I'm working from 8 a.m. to maybe 8 p.m., I'm not getting anything extra for that. So you better believe when there's time to reclaim my time, I am.
Oh, yeah, definitely. I'm gonna get paid whether it's with my time or with my money.
Period. As Denzel says, I'm leaving here with something.
That's right. Well, speaking of leaving here with something, okay, so she spends the night with him. And he
Yes.
orders this big old spread of food. It's breakfast
Mhm.
food. And he's like, "Well, I ordered everything on the menu because I didn't know what you wanted." And I'm like,
Yeah.
"Rich people, right?" You know?
Right. Must be nice.
Yeah. And then she picks up a croissant and a pancake and starts nibbling on it. And I'm like, "Girl, get your fork out."
Yes, the way
Jeez.
she first he had to move her because she sat on the end of the table near him, and
What's
he
up with
was not
that?
having that at all. I'm like, "Girl, it's breakfast. Get your butt off this table. Sit down." And then
Yeah.
she sits down, kind of not ladylike at all. She's just vibing basically and just
Yes.
shoving this pancake and this croissant in her mouth. I'm like, "Girl, there's
I know
silverware."
it. Well, she had the tendency to sit everywhere. Like, she sat on
Mhm.
his desk, and then she sat on, like, a display at one of the boutiques.
Mhm.
You could well, okay, that makes me ask you this question. Do you
Okay.
think she overplayed the part?
Mm, that's a good question. I'm gonna say no. I don't feel like she did.
Okay.
But then also, I don't know what her, I guess, source material that she used to prepare for the role was either.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you ever rewatch it, watch it thinking about that,
Okay.
because there were just a few times when I thought, you could be a little more subtle about
Yeah.
things, and I don't
Okay.
think it was subtle one bit.
No, I don't think she was subtle. No.
Yeah. So she's in the bathtub, big bathtub, by the way, kind of envious of that.
That is
And of course
a
she's,
dream of mine.
oh, I know. I know.
Mhm.
Forget the fancy car. If I get rich, we're gonna get ourselves nice bathtubs.
Yes, with the jacuzzi jets.
Oh, I do love that. Now, I was
Yes.
thinking today when I was taking a shower, I was like, okay, see, this is in my head all the time. When I get rich, I'm going to have one of those that looks like a car wash, like the jets everywhere.
Yes.
Yes.
I think about that stuff all the time too, because I'm like, oh, I also want to make sure that we have a hot tub because I'd love to have a glass of wine and just be in the hot tub relaxing.
But then the practical things come out, and I'm like, but I don't want to clean a hot tub. But then the other side will be like, well, you're going to be rich, so you're not going to be cleaning a hot tub. So these are
Absolutely.
the battles I fight.
I'm in the same boat.
So she's in that big old bathtub with bubbles
Mhm.
everywhere, and she's got her headphones on, and of course they're like a 1990 version of headphones, which means a
Mhm.
wire across your head, and
Mhm.
they're wired, of course. And she's got a Walkman,
Yep.
and we're not talking about a CD player. We're talking about a Walkman,
Mhm.
and she's singing Prince's Kiss, by the way,
Yes.
which
Yes.
is a really good song.
Prince was amazing as an
Oh yeah.
artist. Amazing
Yeah.
artist.
And that song came out though in 1987. So, it wasn't like it was a new song that she was saying. Oh, 1986 actually.
Okay.
So I love that song so incredibly much that there is a figure skater. Do you ever watch figure skating?
I do not.
Okay. All right. Well, you might want to write this down because this is just so cool to
Okay.
watch. Okay.
Okay.
Katarina Witt. It's Witt, but she's from Germany. In 1990, she did a whole, oh, what do you call that? Uh, the whole figure skating thing, because I
Okay.
can't think of the words. We're going to use thing,
Okay.
on Princess Kiss.
Okay. Now
And
that
it's
I will watch.
it was the best one I've ever seen in my entire life.
Oh, that sounds
Yeah.
awesome. Okay.
Yeah. Because it was considered so radical.
Yeah.
Figure skating is supposed to be pretty, poise, grace, and all that stuff. Classical music.
Classical.
Yeah, but not hers. It was really good.
Oh, I definitely will watch that. I like when people come through and shake up a routine a little bit. Like that's
Mhm.
exciting to me.
Oh, Tanya Harding. I don't know if you remember
Um,
Tanya Harding.
I
Do you remember
do.
her? She did that all the time. She was, skating to ZZ Top. I mean, she was pretty awesome.
Yes.
Yeah. I know she got wrapped up and stuff, and I actually think it was her boyfriend, not her. Just want to point that out. I love Tanya Harding.
Yeah.
And if Tanya Harding could come on here with us, I would just be over the moon excited.
Now, does she do interviews or podcasts?
She lives a very quiet life. She was interviewed, I know, a couple years ago, but I mean, she's out there like driving around in an old beat up truck,
Okay.
living the simple life.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah. But I would still love to talk to her because I think she's awesome. And I think her skills were overlooked because of that catastrophe.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I
Another
could see.
example of a man just taking a woman's talent and throwing it away.
And wrecking her life so bad.
Yeah. Oh, he
Mm,
did. Yeah, definitely.
yeah.
So there's that moment when she goes and takes a shopping trip down Rodeo
Yes.
Drive.
Mhm.
And she walks in her stripper outfit, because I mean,
Yeah.
that's clearly what it is. And just like in the Selena movie,
Mhm.
she's sized up and told she does not belong there.
And that lady was horrible to her.
Yes. Yeah, she was. Um, so the manager of the hotel, but his name in real life is Hector Elizondo.
I
And
remember him because he was kinda rude to her and then ended up loving her by the time
I
all
have
of it
a
was said and done.
huge crush on him. No, but he's in one of my favorite movies, which I referenced last week, Tortilla Soup.
Yes, and
So,
we will be watching that
oh,
soon.
we will be. Yeah, definitely. I thought, though, the way he took her under his wing was amazing.
I love that because you could tell it was kinda like he was a proud father after all of it was said and done, and I love that for her. And going back to the
Yeah.
woman who sized her up in the store, I love that your quote came from that moment when she
Oh,
got her
yeah.
together, like, "Oh, you thought I was trash? Look at how much money I just dropped, and you missed out because you're an a-hole."
Big mistake. Big,
Mm.
huge. And the way she delivers that, nobody else could ever deliver it like that. She
It
just
was
kills it.
so good, so good.
Yes. And of course, she looks wonderful in her preppier clothes.
Listen, the fashions were fashioning. That red dress she had, loved
Uh-huh.
it. I loved when she was in the white outfit with the white hat. That was also cute when she was coming back from shopping. She looked good.
What did you think about her outfit whenever she was meeting up with her friend in like the last scene? And it was like a shorts with a jacket. Do you remember that?
Was it the coral outfit?
Yes.
I like that. It seems, kind of breezy. I'm not taking myself too seriously. I thought she looked good in it. Now, would I wear
Yeah.
that? No, because I probably look frumpy, but it looked good on
Yes.
her.
It did look good on her. Yes. I think she can wear just about anything though.
Her and Rihanna are 2 women that could put whatever on, and it may look like garbage on every 99.9% of people, but on them,
Yes.
it'll look amazing.
Definitely. Yeah. Back then she was really well known, not just for her hair, and of course her acting, but her smile. Her
Oh,
mouth is
gorgeous.
so do you think it's gorgeous?
I think she has a gorgeous mouth, yeah.
Okay. I think it's unique too.
Mhm.
And that's what everybody else thought too, is like so big, but
Yeah.
it's who she is and it makes her unique and wonderful and unforgettable.
Yes, I love when people just have things that make them interesting, whether it's a beauty mark or maybe you have a gap in your teeth or some it just makes you
Mm.
unique. I love that.
Oh, sort of like Jewel, the singer.
Yes, her teeth are not
Yeah.
perfect.
No, not at all. And she doesn't care.
Yes, and it's also and my mom says this a lot too, that, Shamar Moore, she kinda wished that he hadn't fixed his teeth because
Uh-huh.
he had a chipped tooth, and it just added to his appeal to make him different.
Okay. I like that.
Mhm.
Um, do you remember when she goes out to eat with with her boss, let's just call it, and he's
Yeah.
negotiating this deal and she's fussing over the snails and such?
Yes.
And the snail goes flying through the air and the waiter, man, he was smooth, catches it and just like pops it in his pocket and says happens every day or something like that.
Yes. That would have been me. I would have been the one that had the snail in the air.
Oh, now I'm gonna tell you, I would not even try to eat them. I'm picky now.
Now,
I just
I
can't.
probably I I say I probably wouldn't. I probably they probably would have got me with the little piece because I've tried an oyster. We'll never try that again. The texture, I can't.
Ugh. No, no. But I love the fact that she was obviously struggling with the forks.
Yes.
And that older man just picks up that meat, I don't know what it was, and just said, and it shows her, just pick it up and eat it.
Yes, that was so cute, and he made her feel comfortable.
Yeah. Do you remember too, though? They get back home and they're arguing over something. Maybe this was later on in the movie. He goes downstairs and starts playing the piano.
Mhm.
And then the one guy shows her where he is. And I kept thinking, Piano in the Dark. You remember that song?
No.
Oh my gosh, that was such a famous song.
Who sung it?
You're gonna have to hold on. His first name
Okay.
is Brenda, and she was a one-hit wonder, but she's got a voice on her, um, a Brenda Russell,
Brenda
and
Russell. Okay.
it's from 1988. It's a
Okay, I was
very
1.
unique. You are what?
I was 1 years old. Okay.
Oh, okay, you're excused. Okay, geez. There you go again. Twice in this one episode.
Uh,
Okay. Well, write that down. Okay.
yes, okay.
Brenda
Brenda
Russell,
Russell,
Piano in the
Piano in the
Dark.
Dark.
So he's in there playing piano in the dark, and I thought, "Oh, that was such a moment where he could be playing that song, and he missed it."
Richard
Okay.
Gere was a cutie. What do you think about
Well,
Richard
that
Gere?
was the general consensus. He was considered extremely hot. And then I found out that he was a Buddhist. I don't know if he still is or not. Okay. And
Oh,
much respect to people who are Buddhists, by the way.
yeah.
I know a few. But he went in an interview one time and was talking about he does not even kill bugs. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to be killing some flies now. So let's just be
Period.
realistic about
If I
this.
see a spider, I'm sorry. The spider's just not about to roam free in the apartment. Unfortunately, the spider
Yeah.
has to go meet its maker.
Oh, now he was going on and on about it in this interview, saying, like, everything that has life is a creation of God. And I 100% agree. But some people
Yeah,
or some things are going to be sent to their creator sooner than later.
absolutely. Because I don't play about roaches, about spiders,
No.
about any of that. No, thank you.
But even though he was considered really, really good looking back in the day, I was shocked at how unattractive I thought he was.
Really?
Hmm. I thought his eyes, no, I thought he had really beady eyes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
I just was not at all attractive, but you give me the hotel manager and we're gonna have a thing.
Listen, he was a cute too.
Yes, yeah. So, yeah, he was definitely more of my preference.
Okay. Fair
Okay,
enough.
so there's a lot of good music on the soundtrack, by the way.
Mhm.
One of them reminded me of my grandpa, who's now 90, and he's, not doing too well, but whenever
Um,
I was in, late elementary school or middle school,
mhm.
Roy Orbison sang Pretty Woman,
Yes.
okay? And I remember us driving down the road, he was taking me home in his, brown Chevy sedan, and he was a quiet man, very quiet. But that song came on the radio. He started blaring that song and singing it at the top of his lungs, and when he does that little growl part in that song, my grandpa actually did the growl, and I was like, "Well, that's really unexpected." So when I hear that song, I think about my grandpa in that brown Chevy sedan.
It's such an iconic song. I feel like even if you haven't seen this movie, you've heard that song.
Oh, yeah. Well,
It's
question,
so
was
good.
that song written for this movie, or was it beforehand? Well, see, now I don't
I
know. We're gonna have to look this up. So I actually think it was written beforehand. I don't think it was for this movie specifically. But, have you ever gone to
I'm looking it up to see if it was.
a polo game, a polo match? Have you ever been to one?
Oh, I have never been to one. I don't know if they have that in my area. Have you been to
I don't think. No, no. But, they did the whole stomping on the divots. So I
one?
had to look up, like, is that really a thing that people stomp on the divots? So
Mhm.
yes, people actually get out there with their fancy schmancy clothes and their high heels and stuff and stomp on the divots while drinking champagne and stuff,
Wow.
just like in the
Now,
movie.
now that I would probably enjoy because I'm such a barefoot queen. I don't like to have shoes on, so I would actually probably love that.
Girl, you do not want to be out there with horse poop stomping on divots.
Yeah, I mean it would be gross, but I'd probably participate just knowing myself.
Okay, okay. Maybe a little bit of wine, right? Wine
Yeah,
involved.
maybe
Okay.
after 2 glasses of champagne.
Uh, remember she was making fun of that guy's wife? Of course, there was a lot of wives out there to make fun of course.
Yeah, I
And
was
she's
like,
like, "You
which
could
one?
freeze." She said, "Well, I don't know who it was exactly." Oh, it was a lawyer's wife.
Okay.
She said, "You could freeze ice on his wife's ass."
I now I don't remember her saying that.
She had a lot of one-liners that were just
She
really
had
on
some
point.
good one-liners. Now I looked this up, and the Pretty Woman song was not written for the movie.
I didn't think so because I actually think it was in the early '80s.
Yep. It
Yeah.
was written in 1964.
Holy cow. Well, I was
Mhm.
off by a few years,
Yeah, you're close.
but it fit that movie perfectly.
To a T.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So, whenever he said she's in sales,
Yes.
kind of funny. I must admit, we
Yes.
must laugh. And it's true.
I mean, she is selling something, and it's is the world's oldest profession, so he's not
No
wrong.
shame on sex workers. Okay.
Absolutely. Listen, you have to do what you have to do to feed your family, to feed yourself.
Yes.
So,
Sex work
yeah,
is work. So,
it is work.
um, I feel like he was really trying to save her feelings and to show her respect. And I think she took it the wrong way.
I think he knows the group of people that he's constantly around. He knows that they were going to judge her. So I do feel in that moment, he was trying to treat her with some kindness and not say, yo, this is what she does. Because then he knows those people are probably going to sit there and stare at her for the remainder of the time and make her feel uncomfortable.
Well, you remember what the lawyer did? He hit on her,
Mhm. Yeah.
not just in a regular way. He was treating it very transactional.
Uh-huh. Which Jason Alexander's character in that movie, oh my
Yes.
God. He was just the slimiest, dirtiest, nastiest SOB in the world. First off, you're married and you're hitting on this woman. Then you try to sexually assault this woman. You're disgusting.
Oh, yes. Oh, I'm
Yeah.
so glad you brought that up. I forgot. He
Hmm.
was trying to rape her.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
that got me thinking about date rape. Okay. In the
Hmm.
90s, time when I was growing up, that was a very controversial thing. Is date rape actually a thing? Because if you're going on a date with him, you could just say it was date rape, but maybe it wasn't. But yeah, that was very controversial. We were having these discussions, but you have to understand that it was not until 1993 that marital rape was acknowledged. At that time,
Wow.
if you were married to a man, and I mean married, separated, whatever, he could rape you and it would be protected by the law. So
Gonna
the
be.
way this was addressed really brought back some memories of how we used to handle these things, and we did not handle them well.
Yeah, because I don't recall him going to see the police. Like Richard Gere punched him a few times, but he needed more than that. The law
He
should have been
did.
involved.
But I'm telling you, back then, it probably would have been
It just didn't
overlooked.
happen. Yeah,
No.
that's sad. And
Mm-mm.
then just like it happens today when women who are sex workers go missing, people don't care. They're like, oh, they probably just ran away and they're judged based on their line of work. And it's like, no, that's still somebody's daughter, somebody's friend, somebody's something. Her life should still matter.
You know, we have talked about having a podcast about like Netflix documentaries and etc.
Hmm.
And if we do, I want to have a little corner of it where we talk about the marginalized, and I'm including sex workers in that, how their cases get overlooked. And whether it's black, gay, sex workers, or Native Americans, theirs gets overlooked all the
Oops.
time. We have
Absolutely.
got to start bringing more attention to these cases that are just forgotten about. So hopefully one day we get to do something about that.
No, I absolutely agree. And I would love to, once we move to that, love to maybe even just talk about the people who don't get the spotlight and don't get the shine that, pretty blonde girls get.
That's true. That is very true. If we could do something about that, that would just make my entire life really,
Absolutely.
and especially the missing ones. Can you
Yes.
imagine having someone in your life where you don't know if they're dead or alive?
I cannot imagine that because you will truly never get closure. Never. You don't want to see your family member deceased at all. But I at least would rather know where their body is, be able to mourn them, be able to visit them at the cemetery. If your person is missing, it's like I could be walking by you in the street and not even know it because I haven't seen you in 30 years and just your heart, in my opinion, would never heal.
You just always wanna know that your loved ones are taken care of, and you
Absolutely.
want to go to bed every night knowing that they're warm, they're fed, and the unknown of that, knowing they might be out there scared, hungry, what have you, would just terrify me and probably drive me insane.
Absolutely. It just would not be good at all.
Okay, so I don't know how we got on that topic, but
No.
within 1 week's time, she said, "I love you."
That's early. That's very early.
You cannot love somebody within 1 week. Okay, that's my PSA for the time being. You cannot love somebody within 1 week. You don't know that person.
No, and to be honest, most people don't truly reveal everything about themselves to you within 1 week. It takes time for you to see their habits, for you to see how they act when they're upset, when they're stressed. None of that can happen in 1 week. There's no way.
Right. Yeah. Okay. Is there anything else you want to say about it before we wrap
Um,
this up?
just a couple of notes that I took real fast. Um, So he was pulling out the big money. I said Richard was flexing a plane ride to go to the opera.
Oh, yeah.
He was
And,
flexing.
and she calls the orchestra a band.
Yes.
I love that. I love that for her. That's great.
Yes. And then here's the other thing. When he was talking about the strawberry and the champagne thing, is that true?
Mhm. I am not a champagne drinker. Actually, I don't even drink alcohol. So,
Yes.
wrong person to ask.
That's fair. That's fair.
But champagne is always served with fruit. So, it would make sense.
Yeah. I had never thought about that. And
Yeah.
then I love a grand gesture. So I love at the end with him in the limo and the opera's playing and he has to work through his height issues and come up her
Yeah.
apartment. So I love that.
It was so 1990. Like, everybody had those grand gestures in the end.
Yes.
And I guess there's people like me looking back thinking, like, that is so unrealistic.
Oh, it's
Yeah.
absolutely unrealistic. It would never happen, but I love to see it.
I agree with you. And she's the one who said that she always wants the fairy tale.
Yep.
And he certainly gave it to her.
She absolutely got her fairy tale and she got that man to come around and yeah, she got what she
All
wanted.
within a week.
Right? Which is the fact that all of that was in a week still blows my mind because that is not
Uh,
how life works.
oh my
Fairy
gosh.
tale indeed.
You talked about Jason Alexander. I have to give him props as horrible as this character
Yes.
was. And I say that with respect. He really played it well.
Oh, he played the heck out of Philip. He made me hate Philip.
Yeah. Oh, I hated him with everything I have.
Yeah. So
Oh
that's how you
gosh.
know the actor is doing a good job when they make you hate them. I'm like, please get your slimy prick behind off of my screen.
Yeah, I had no idea what a good actor he was until I saw
Yeah.
this, and yeah, he was great.
He did good.
I know he's known for Seinfeld, and I'm not a big Seinfeld fan, but
Same.
he's obviously talented.
Yes, absolutely.
Would you watch this again?
I would say it's not gonna go in like my rotations because I have like monthly movies that I watch every month. It's not gonna
Yeah,
go into rotation like that or anything. But if it came up on TV and I was at somebody's house and they had it on, I wouldn't ask them to turn it off.
right.
Yeah,
I think I'm done with it. I think I'm putting it to bed.
yeah. I mean, that's fair.
I'm glad I watched it again.
Absolutely.
I would recommend those who have not watched it to definitely watch it again. But
Mhm.
I had already seen it a few times, and I think I'm done.
Yeah, it was a cute little rom com. It's not one of my favorites. My life isn't gonna change if I never see it again.
Right.
Yeah,
However, the cultural relevance, it does have some of the sayings and stuff that people will
absolutely.
refer to. It was iconic back in the day, um,
Mhm.
and I think it aged well.
I think it did too. I will agree with you
Yeah.
there.
I know you've already got your movie picked out for next
Yes.
week. Do you wanna tease
Yes.
that?
Yes, absolutely. So, next week's movie, this is also a 90s type movie, as we're kind of on that kick right now. And if you haven't seen this movie, you've definitely heard the song from this movie. So the quote that I'm going to use is, "It's not my blood, it's not me." So yes,
Actually, I've
it's
never heard that quote.
oh yeah, it's in there. And when you watch it, you'll be like,
Yeah.
"Oh, okay, there it is."
Okay. Well, I haven't
Yes.
seen this movie. I've heard all about it, even back in the day, because it came out in 1992. That's another little
Yes.
hint. Um, it was very popular, sort of like the Titanic, like we talked about, where everybody was talking about it. So I'm like, well,
Mhm.
there's so many movies out. I'm probably not going to see this one. But I do know everybody who went to see it loved it.
Yes. And it is I'm obsessed with the leading lady in the movie, so that is
Oh,
probably
of
why I
course.
watched it.
Oh, yeah.
If
Yeah.
she was in a
Um,
movie, I was going to see it.
I was going to ask you if you think she's a good actress, but we'll save that for next week.
Yes, we'll save that for our deep dive next week. Can't wait to get into it. Well, before we let you guys go,
Oh,
we actually
yes.
have a little something special. With it being the holidays, we are actually going to do a giveaway for our folks that are hanging in there with us and listening to us. So the giveaway will work like this. Once we get to 100 followers on Instagram, so our Instagram handle is the Generational Yap, so just same thing as our podcast name. We are going to be giving away what's called a Magellan M1 Sapphire IPL hair removal handset. So this goes for over $200 typically. And there's three different comfort modes. So you've got a face mode where you can hair remove your face, under your lips, under your chin. It's got a bikini mode, and it's also got a power mode where you can do your legs, arms, chest, armpits, and all of that.
Sounds like a Sounds like a wonderful gift.
Heck yes. We are very much excited. And we just want to thank you guys so much for listening to us. And there will be more instructions on the Instagram about the giveaway itself and how to enter.
Sounds great. Thank you for joining us for another episode of the Generational Yap podcast. We love having you here to talk culture, nostalgia, and to share our hot takes. Follow us on all the socials at the Generational Yap so you don't miss the conversations. As always, let's yap, y'all.